Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Wanted to make a video and talk a little bit about a man who has single-handedly won over this fan base. I want to talk about the evolution of Hendon Hooker. I want to talk about what he's been through, what he's done at Tennessee, and also let you guys in on a way that you can show a little love to Hendon Hooker as a way of saying thank you. Look at what Hendon Hooker has been through over the last year. Last year he went through some medical issues at one point. He wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to play the game that he loves any longer. Things did happen to go the right way, but as he was laying there in that hospital bed, he made a promise to himself that if he did have the opportunity to play football again, he would give it everything that he has. He's a kid that, he chose Tennessee. He transferred to Tennessee at a time when things were in doubt. Some of us as a fan base were saying we're at rock bottom. Meanwhile, Hendon Hooker talks to some former players that he's friends with. He chose Tennessee because of the power T, not because of a coach, not because of a scheme, but because of the power T. He comes in after Jeremy Pruitt was fired. Things are in limbo. Don't really know how things are going to play out, but Hendon Hooker chose to come to Tennessee. Enter Joe Milton. Tons of hype behind Joe Milton. Hendon Hooker sits quietly in the background and continues to work, continues to grind. When Joe Milton goes down, Hendon Hooker's number gets called. He goes to work. And again, he single-handedly wins over this fan base. There's two things that we as a fan base love to argue and love to fight about. Number one is offensive coordinators and play calling. And number two is the quarterback position. All throughout camp, the conversation wasn't about Hendon Hooker. It was during the spring. During the spring, Hendon Hooker was in the conversation. But all throughout fall camp, the conversation centered around Joe Milton and Harrison Bailey. And again, Hendon Hooker just kind of quietly works in the background. We're going to talk a little bit about a way we can show some love to Hendon Hooker. But as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. If you would so kindly press that thumbs up. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not journalists. We are fans just like you guys. So if you enjoy what we do here, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop new content. Indy Kid's got another basketball video dropping later today, so tune in for that. And then Dauber and the Indy Kid will be going live tomorrow, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for your basketball season preview. So I hope you guys will tune in and check that out. But let's jump into this. How can you show some love to Hendon Hooker? And that is this. This is an article from SI.com from Jack Foster. Says Hooker joins Davey O'Brien class of 21. Tennessee starting signal caller was officially named to the Davey O'Brien class of 21 on Tuesday. Now, what exactly does that mean? If you're not familiar with the Davey O'Brien Foundation or the award itself, it was created in 1977 after the death of Davey O'Brien, and it was established and given out as a trophy to the most outstanding player in the Southwest. But in 1981, it transitioned from being just to the best player in the Southwest to the best quarterback in the nation. Some of your recent winners, you may recognize some of these names. Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, a who's who of college quarterbacks, the best quarterback in NCAA football. And that's why when I talk about Hendon Hooker and what he can be, I know some people in the comment section absolutely lose their minds when I mention the word Heisman Trophy candidate for 2022. But look at what Hendon Hooker has done after coming to Tennessee. His numbers he's blown away the numbers that he put up at Virginia Tech. So I think the sky is the limit when it comes to 2022 for Hendon Hooker. I'm not saying he's going to go out and win the Heisman Trophy. I'm not saying he's going to go out and be the front runner, but his name will be in the mix in 2022. It's the reality of the situation. It is what it is if he chooses to come back. And that's going to be a big part of this. But let's look at the Davey O'Brien Foundation. It says announced on Tuesday that the VAWLS starting quarterback Hendon Hooker was named to the class of 21, meaning he is now eligible to be voted as a semifinalist for the award. See tweet below. Here you can see if you're on Twitter, go to @DaveyO'Brien. Also, there are posts on Facebook and Instagram. We want to blow this up. Vol fans need to show some love. It says here, vote for Hendon Hooker of Vol Football to be a semifinalist for the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback Award by liking this post. It says the top 5 vote getters on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook will receive bonus committee votes each week. So how much of an impact does this actually make? You get a little bit of a bonus, but let's show some love to Hendon Hooker. You can see right there at the bottom, it's got on Twitter almost 5,000 likes already. Hendon Hooker, hands down, is destroying the competition when it comes to fan votes, because that's what we do as Vol Nation. We run social media. Says here at the start of the Davey O'Brien process, Hooker was among 59 other quarterbacks on the midseason watch list. Hendo Cinco now joins a list of players eligible to be voted as semifinalists for the award, which will be announced on Tuesday, November the 9th. The process for selecting the 16 available semifinalist spots includes a fan vote. So again, let's show Hendon Hooker some love. Let's jump on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and blow this thing up. I retweeted it today from the Talkin VAWLS Twitter account. So if you follow us there, you can see it retweeted and show some love. Make sure you put a heart, a like on the original post. Says, according to UT Athletics Communications, the top 5 vote getters on each of the 3 social media platforms will receive bonus committee votes, which will be added to the ballot cast by the National Selection Committee. So again, it says here to cast a vote, you got to like the original post that the quarterback is mentioned in. Then it goes on to say Hooker's impressive first season on Rocky Top has number 5 and 3rd in the FBS in quarterback rating, 179.91, and is 12th in the country with 126 points, responsible for 17 passing and 4 rushing scores. Hendon Hooker's had a great first season on Rocky Top. There's no doubt about it. Seeing the numbers there, 3rd in FBS in quarterback rating. That's a huge number. I want to see what Hendon Hooker can do next year. And I talk about this a lot. Like I said, some people blow a gasket when I mention the words Heisman Trophy candidate. But what can Hendon Hooker do if he does choose to come back? He was on Tennessee Prime with Jason Swain and the VolQuest guys last night. They were kind of making some jokes about it. Austin Price kind of put him on the spot. Are you coming back? He doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to focus on this year, which of course he does. That's what you want to hear. But I saw some people on the VolQuest message board talking about it. Said Mel Kiper had him as the 8th best quarterback in the draft. Where does that fall? I saw some people saying that there were 8 quarterbacks drafted in the first 3 rounds last season, but that was a record for quarterbacks in the first 3 rounds. So what is that good for? If Mel Kiper's spot on there, is that good for 4th round, 5th round, 6th round? How much would Hendon Hooker benefit by coming back for another season? I want to see a full off season of Hendon Hooker in this offense. You know, yes, he did come in the spring, so he did work through the spring, through the summer, and through fall camp. But we also know that Joe Milton got a lot of the reps with the first team. You're always going to take that big leap in year 2 of an offensive scheme. And I want to see what Hendon Hooker can do and how much can he improve his draft stock with another year in this system, a full year in this system, a full year taking reps with the ones. What kind of NIL deals would Hendon Hooker be looking at if he comes back? Because there's a weight that comes with being the starting quarterback at Tennessee. You know, I mentioned earlier the things that we as a fan base love to fight about: offensive coordinators, play calling, and who should be quarterback. It's all we talked about on this channel going into week 1. Ever since Hendon Hooker took over, that's gone away. That has been gone, and it's been a while. Probably Josh Dobbs is the last guy. But even him, even Josh Dobbs, there was a lot of debate and argument at the time. Now looking back, hindsight's 2020, a lot of people realize just how special Josh Dobbs was. But since Hendon Hooker won the job, since Hendon Hooker took over, this fan base has gone really silent when it comes to complaining about quarterback play, and instead, we've all fallen in love with Hendon Hooker. I want to see him finish out this season. It's good to have the bye week and get healthy. Going to have an opportunity to go on the road and take on Kentucky, make a statement, go get bowl eligible, and then that's going to give you some extra practices. But then, like I said, a full off season with Hendon Hooker as QB1. The sky is the limit in 2022. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you do go to Twitter. Show some love to Hendon Hooker. Let's blow that up. Let's put some likes on it, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. But leave me a comment, and don't take the what I'm saying here out of context. I'm not saying that Hendon Hooker goes and wins the Heisman Trophy next year. But if he does elect to come back and he does continue to trend the way he's trended all year long, his name is going to be mentioned. It's going to be mentioned next year. There's no doubt about it. We'll see how that plays out. But leave me a comment. Let me know. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, you can check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Just go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.